Okay, let's talk about clarity. Okay, clarity is my favorite trait, my favorite thing in the world. Okay, when somebody has clarity, I'm just like, wow, this is so amazing. And it's so rare. It's so rare to see someone be clear about everything in their life. And I think that I have clarity with most things. And things that I'm not clear about, I'm very clear that I'm not clear about them. Okay, we'll discuss these things in a bit. So let us discover clarity. Let's understand what clarity is. What is clarity? Having a clear, well thought out view of things and all things in your life as much as possible. Okay, and having a clear view about things that you don't know also, in the sense of that I don't know this. That's clarity, right? Or I don't want to know this. That's also clarity. Or I will think about it. That's also clarity. All these are subsets of clarity, right? So let us see why you need clarity. Why do you need clarity? Because it is a general narrative to your life. Okay, it is a kind of pillar, and it is kind of holding you up, right? And it is ensuring that other people do not take advantage of you, because most people, right, if they don't have clarity, they're taken advantage of. They're either taken advantage of by the political elite, or they're taken advantage of by somebody else, or they are bullied, or decisions are made for them. Anybody who does not have clarity, even countries that do not have clarity, are taken advantage of. They are conquered. Okay, they are destroyed by internal strife. They fall apart, right? If the majority of the people do not have clarity, the countries will always fall apart. Any unit and any human being will always fall apart without clarity, which is why rulers work so hard to keep myths alive, right? Whether it's religion, whether it's the concept of a country, or whether it is any other idea that they need to push into the minds of the people to maintain that clarity, right? That is how you can keep a country alive. As even like for the US, for example, until recently, their narrative was very clear: we are the best, and we have to do the best, and they were actually the best, right? But now that the narrative is dividing slowly, the country is getting weaker and weaker, and now China's clarity is increasing. So it's all about clarity. The entire game is clarity. So if you want to achieve something, even if you want to achieve happiness, you need clarity. Now let us see how to apply it in your life, right? Number one, scrutinize everything, right? Everything that is there in your life, whether it's your partner, whether it's your job, whether it's your life decisions. Okay, have an interview with yourself. Ask yourself why you are doing this, how you are doing this, what you are doing this for, what is the reason exactly. All the hows, the whats, the where, why, when, everything has to be sorted in your head. Okay, and be clear about this. And if you need to keep changing it, in the sense of depending on the timeline, depending on what is required, you can keep changing it, not a problem. But be very clear about the whys. Once you're clear about the whys and the whats, okay, then your entire everything, how, where, when, are just formalities. They will automatically be sorted. Okay, now number two, make priority lists. Okay, once you're sorted about why you're doing certain things, then make priority lists. What is my favorite thing to do? Okay, so I have lists to the extent of what is my favorite thing to do physically. My favorite thing to do physically is a good martial art fight, right? My second favorite thing is teaching. My third favorite thing is this, etc., etc., etc. So for example, sex will come number 10 probably on that list, right? Similarly, my favorite things to do mentally is making a video, for example, or writing the video. Number two, right, doing something. And then I have lists of people, my favorite groups, my favorite people in those groups. Okay, and what I will do with those people, where I can be with those people. So there are some people I can be with anywhere at any time. Like I can hang out with them in the gutter. It does not matter to me, because they are those kind of people. But with some people, I will not even hang out with them in the best hotel, right? So I'm very clear on who is where. So you have priority lists, and you have to make these priority lists after you've done the question. Number three, okay, if some new information is presented and you are unsure, right, be clear that you are unsure. It is okay to be unsure, but you have to be very clear that I do not know this. Okay, maybe I'll think about it. Okay, or I won't think about it, or I'm not interested in this information, or I don't know. All of these things are extremely important in the journey of clarity. So when you're presented with this new information, you decide what you want to do with it. And if you're unsure, say, I don't know, I'm unsure, I will think about it and I will get back to you. Remember, yes, no, and maybe are all legitimate answers. Okay, so What happens if you're not clear? Okay? Automatically, people take advantage and they start making decisions for you, and they take you for granted. Okay, if you don't have a narrative will automatically be made for you, right? Your body and mind will also start crumbling if you don't have a narrative, right? So let's discover this idea. It's called equilibrium, right? Everything is trying to go away. Your blood is trying to fall on the is trying to give into gravity. Your bones are trying to break. Everything is trying to go away. It's all entropy is happening, right? It is called equilibrium with nature. Life is the opposite of equilibrium. So you are in a state of anti-equilibrium. Now, the moment there is no intent, right? Automatically you will fall into a state of equilibrium. So if you don't work out, your body will start breaking away. It'll start creating its own narrative that, okay, now it's time to get back into equilibrium, or it's time to get fat or lazy or whatever. Number two, if you're confused and scared all the time, right, your mind will crumble eventually. It'll create narratives for itself, which we now in psychology call personality. So multiple personality disorder. So all of this lacking any kind of clarity, even socially, if you are not clear socially about what you want in life, automatically your entire social this will break. People will start bullying you, they'll start taking you for granted, they will, they'll make decisions for you. It's not, there's no point to it. It's just not worth not being clear. So be extremely clear. Let's review this entire thing. Scrutinize everything. Okay, scrutinize every one of your decisions, every one of your relationships, etc. Make priority lists. Okay, and make priority lists about people, places, what you want, your goals, everything. Okay, then be clear about not being clear. When you're not clear, it's okay. I'm not clear. There is no shame in it. I don't know. There is no shame in it. Just say it. Even this concept that I don't know, I learned very recently. Earlier I thought, like, how can I not know? So now I've learned that, okay, I don't know, that's cool, that's fine, let's find out, but be clear about that, right? And number 4, I'm going to add, okay, narratives keep changing. Like, you can keep changing narratives, you can keep have new clarity about things, you can evolve your view on things, but be very clear to yourself and to people around you that this is my new view. Yesterday my view was this, today my view is this. And I have reached a point where I can know tomorrow what my view will be. 5 years down the line, what my view will be, what my likes and dislikes will be. I can make an estimate of them. So you must be that clear about at least your past, so that you can be clear about your present, and then eventually you can learn to be clear about your future. That is the whole extent of clarity. So put clarity into your life, because most people do not have it, and it is so rare, and it is so sad to see people's entire lives being messed up. Why? Because they are not clear.